acting cool, cuz.
What?
Nigga, what's up? How gangster are you, cuz?
Hey.
I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me.
Whoop.
I don't fuck with you, cuz. You disrespecting me.
I go hard, cuz. Hey, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. Yes, I am doing an early stream today because I am booked and busy. I got things to do, things to see. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of stuff planned. No, actually, I have a bread breaking class. So I got to be on my way to that in a few hours. So I told you I'm taking this seriously, honey. My gardening, my bed breaking, my bread baking. I'm taking all of this seriously. So I have another class this week that I'm going to, and I'm super excited. I had an amazing time last week. So that's why I'm doing an earlier, you know what I'm saying, you know, live stream. Usually I don't go on until about 5, 6 o'clock, but, you know, I got things to do, okay? But I want to come on here because I did not get a chance to live stream last week. Last week was, like, super hectic for me, super busy. You know, I was going through, like, some personal issues and things like that. So the only thing I really did was a Zoom meeting, and we had a wonderful Zoom meeting last week. So I couldn't do both. I couldn't do a live stream and a Zoom. I had to focus on some other stuff. But I was able to kind of, you know what I'm saying, woosah a bit because I went to the Kendrick Lamar concert, and I had an amazing time. I took my oldest, who y'all know is like the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. That was like his Christmas/birthday gift. So I got us floor seats. You know what I'm saying? We ate in a little penthouse suite. But I had a really good time. It was cool. So let me say this, okay? Y'all are a mess. Y'all like the round? Thank y'all. So let me say this, okay? So one thing I will give them their props on, they started on time. So the event started at 7 o'clock. And the good thing is, and I didn't know they had all these different, you know, packages, honey. But I like the fact that I did the floor seat package. We went right up to the line. Wasn't no long wait. Wasn't a bunch of extra stuff. You know, I'm like, damn, okay, VIP experience. It was nice. You know, they had a whole little merch table on the floor, you know, so we got some shirts and stuff like that. So I thought that was a nice little VIP experience, you know, with my oldest. My youngest was there too, but he was working. He was doing security. So he was backstage with Kendrick and SZA and all them. He was handing the dancers water, and he was like, yeah, Kendrick looked at me and gave me a head nod, like, what's up? And then SZA looked at him and was like, what's up? But he said he couldn't take any pictures because they were being very strict. They could not be on their phone. If not, they'd be literally fired. So he was backstage with all them, and so he had a really good time, you know, just doing his little job. I said, okay, Tay-Tay. I said, he back there with the action, honey. But one thing I will say, it was on time. So right at 7 o'clock, DJ Mustard on the beat, ho. He came out and he was playing a lot of old school jams. So, you know, we were in our seat, you know what I'm saying, just rocking out, having fun, you know, walked around for a bit. So I liked it, the fact that, you know, he came out on time right at 7, DJ Mustard. They didn't have like opening acts. It was just DJ Mustard. So I was cool with that. It went on till about 10:45. But I thought it was like really dope, like the backgrounds, the transitions and stuff like that. Now, I'm not a big SZA fan. You know what I mean? I don't really listen to SZA like that. I mean, I know some of her music, but I don't, you know, I've never listened to like a whole SZA album. So for me, it was very interesting to see her, you know, live and singing. She did a few outfit changes, you know, they were cute. You know, it wasn't Beyonce. You know, Beyonce gonna give you, you know, sparkle, pizzazz. You know, Beyonce gonna change wigs and shoes every 10 minutes, honey. But, you know, she changed about maybe 2-3 times. But I thought she did a good job. Her dancers, you know, were very up to par. I didn't understand the bug theme. Now, I went and bought a shirt to support it. And I like to support, you know, artists. You know, even the shirt had some type of grasshopper, cockroach. I don't know. I don't know what the bugs are about. They had bugs on stilts and shit. Maybe I'm just too old. I didn't get it. I said, what? And I asked my son, I said, what are all these bugs for? And he's like, well, I'm here for Kendrick. So he didn't. We're Kendrick. We're more Kendrick fans. So, you know, but bless her heart, bless the bugs that were walking around. There were people dressed in bug outfits. So I thought that was interesting. It was like, you know, crickets and all types of stuff, child. You know, I'm going to get into her more, you know. Like I said, I've heard some of her songs. I just haven't really listened to like a whole SZA album. I've just heard like, you know, songs that were popular and stuff like that. So yeah, I didn't really get that, but I did get, you know, the shirt and stuff like that to support. I like the fact that they bought the GNX car out there. That was nice. And then Kendrick is out there. Somebody said that's her theme. Well, I mean, it must be her theme. If I don't listen to her, why would I know? y'all stand so hard for people as if I came out here and disrespected her. Girl, go somewhere else and go get a chill pill, bitch, and quit getting in your feelings, okay? So anyhow, so when Kendrick came out there, of course the crowd went wild, and he started with a lot of like his old school songs, songs from like Good Kid, Mad City, and he even did Poetic Justice. So I was like, ooh, the shade, honey, because y'all know that's my song. So he even did that, but of course everybody was there for Not Like Us. So when he did Not Like Us, like the whole crowd just erupted. And I had to post it, but I had filmed it. It's like everybody had on their lights and, just to see like everybody there be like, hey, minor. Like that shit was cold. But the only thing I will say, this is my only thing. Look, somebody says, hey, Channy, I don't listen to SZA either. Yeah, everybody don't got to like who you like. So, why she's in her feelings crying doesn't make any sense. That'd be like me getting mad because y'all didn't grow up on TLC. And you know what I mean? Like, everybody listens to what they listen to. I came specifically for Kendrick. That's whose music I know. SZA was an added bonus. I'm going to check out some more of her stuff. But if I'm confused by a theme, I'm confused, honey. So, anyhow, when he did the whole Not Like Us, of course everybody erupted, it was lit. The only thing I did not, that if I have one critique, I don't think they really did a lot of audience engagement. Now, I don't know if y'all have been, and it might be like, different at different shows, but I went to the Minneapolis one, which was the first. I don't think there was a lot of audience engagement. I wish they would have talked more to the audience or just, kind of engage more. I mean, hell, bring somebody up there to see walk. I'm on the floor, pick me. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like there should have been a bit more engagement with the crowd. I kind of felt like they were shooting a music video. I don't know. I just kind of felt like they were shooting a music video almost because it was a lot of looking into the camera, rapping into the camera, and the backdrops were dope. They both had like just really dope backdrops. She did like a lot of wooded scenes, which I really loved. Her dancers were really cool. But I kind of felt like they played it up more for like the camera. And I guess it kind of reminded me of what a lot of people have been saying about like Beyonce, Lady Gaga, that a lot of these folks at these concerts, the musicians, they seem to be playing it up for like the cameras as if they're filming documentaries or something. I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was more action, more engagement, rapping to the camera as opposed to like, hey, y'all, what's up? I've just been to other shows where there's been more engagement with the crowd. So that would be my only critique. You know what I'm saying? That'd be my only critique, is that I wish that there was more engagement with the crowd. But other than that, though, it was lit. It was lit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a good time. Once it let out, it was, like just a lot of really good energy. And that's the difference when you go to like shows like that where it's not going to be a bunch of drama and fighting, and you can, go with your kids and it's not going to be a bunch of mess. So I definitely like that. I would definitely recommend it. Have you guys been? Because I know they have so many cities that they're going to. I think they were going to Atlanta next, if I'm not sure. Put a teacup if you've been to the concert yet. Yeah. Because it was definitely lit. I know a lot of people are getting ready to go to the Texas one and everything else. So like I said, I think it's a good show. I would recommend it. I think it's a good show. And especially if you're a fan of both, definitely check it out. Like I said, I think they both did a good job. Yeah, the US Bank Stadium is huge. So maybe that's why, they played more into the camera, just because it was like a big, it's a huge venue. It wasn't like a small, intimate. But I don't know. I've seen, was that Drake a few years ago? I know Beyonce and Jay-Z, they've done US Bank. And I don't know, back then there was a lot of like crowd interaction, with Beyonce. So like I said, that's the only thing. But I like the fact that they did start on time. They weren't 2-3 hours late, because that's my biggest pet peeve when we go to some of these concerts. These musicians come in 2, 3, 4 hours late, like folks don't got nothing else to do. So you definitely get your money's worth, like you do. So I would definitely, okay, so you're going to the Charlotte one? Arlington on Saturday? Okay. They said the same thing about Renaissance. A lot of these artists are doing docs. Yeah, and that's what I was hearing. Just like they were saying that at Coachella with Lady Gaga, a lot of people felt like she wasn't really engaging with the audience like she normally does. It was a lot of playing to the camera. So, maybe they're shooting some type of documentary. Maybe they're going to put out, extra, scenes and stuff like that of the tour. Hell, money's funny. So maybe they're trying to record all types of stuff. Who knows? But I thought it was a good concert. I had a good damn time. So for people who wanted me to do a quick review on it, there you go. So now we got to talk about all this stuff that's going on. Welcome. Come on in, because I'm only be on here until about 5, and then I have to dip out. Let me see here. Tiffany sent 5. She said, was this the first show they were probably recording to get promo footage? Hopefully it goes along and they have more engagement. Yeah, it was the first show, so maybe that's what it is. Because I know by the time I went to like the Beyonce, when she did her show at US Bank and stuff like that, we were probably like probably the 8th show. So maybe that's what it is. This was his very first show of the tour, because I felt like it was a lot of stuff, going more or less towards the camera. So maybe it is done for promo. I haven't been to like any concerts where we've been the first, for me personally. I'm sure maybe other artists have done their first tours in Minneapolis, but this was like the first time I've been to one where we've been the first city. So maybe that's why. But like I said, that'd probably be the only thing, is that I just would have wished there was a bit more crowd engagement with the crowd. But other than that, I thought it was cool. Yeah, I'm sure the LA show is going to be lit. I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of engagement with the LA show, just because that's home for them. They probably going to have all types of people come up on stage and C-Walk and all types of stuff. So I already know the LA show is going to be crazy. You ain't got to tell me that twice. I already know. Let me see here. I am Mike Nyson, $49.99 says showing love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. Default Rambo sent $4.99 says, can you do a breakdown of Sinners like the one you did of Black Panther? I haven't seen it yet. I don't even want to watch the preview. I know everybody's going to see it, and I know a few people in Telegraph have saw it already. A lot of people are saying it's spiritual, it's dark. Other people love it. So I'm just staying away from all previews. I just want to go and see it and not have any biases. Like, even when I'm like seeing reviews coming up on my timeline on Instagram, I'm like, swipe next. You know what I mean? So I do want to watch it. Maybe I'll get a chance to watch it this weekend. We shall see. But yeah, I definitely do want to watch it. And if I watch it, yeah, I'm going to try and do a breakdown like I did for Black Panther. So thank you for the super chat, love. Look, everybody's saying I should watch Sinners. Terrell just sent $4.99 says you should go watch the Sinners movie. I'm gonna do it, cause y'all know I gotta support a black movie, so I really do want to do it. Look, everybody's sending super chats asking me about Sinners. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna watch the trailer. I don't want to even watch the trailer. I just want to go in and watch it. That's it. That's all. I just want to do that. Why not like go out? Hold on. Fix this real quick. Okay. So now let me go ahead and start here. We had to get into some stuff. We got to talk about this Gail King situation, because a lot of people was asking me, because y'all know how I feel about space. So everybody was like, what do you think about Gail King and Katy Perry and them going into space? I was commenting when they were first talking about it. I think it was posted on the Shade Room. I'm like, quit playing with our intelligence. Y'all bitches ain't going into space. Move the fuck around. You know what I mean? That whole debacle was a mess. And I think the funniest is like Gail, like having an attitude because people are not buying what they're selling. So let's go ahead and watch the hoopla of them going into space for 11 minutes. Like, it'd be too much here. She said, I love you, T, but why do you have smoke for Drake when he trolls? But when Kenny does it, it's cool. The whole concert was about Drake. Even SZA performed Rich Baby Daddy. Okay, so what do you Drake fans want me to do? Like, was I supposed to go up there and go grab SZA by her weave and drag her off the stage? Am I supposed to Kung Fu Kenny in the neck? Like, what do y'all want me to do about the situation? Thank you for the $20 super chat. But I don't know what you Drake fans want from me. I mean, the way y'all be crying about Drake, it's insane. Like, just at this point, I don't care about the beef. I went to enjoy the show. That's it. I don't know what you want. What do you want me to do? To make a public spectacle? Explain further. Child, we're just gonna give you the tiny violin. Y'all Drake fans, child, go get a life at this point. Y'all be, what was I supposed to do? Go up there, just start fighting scissor? Y'all insane? Oh, it's funny how you allow people to just troll Drake, and SZA was doing Rich Baby Daddy trolling Drake. Oh, grow up. Drake ain't gonna send you no fruit basket, boo. Just, who cares? All right, so let me go ahead and play the video of the launch. This whole thing is a mess here. Give me just a second. All right. So this is them heading to the launch in the blue origin with the feather. There's a lot of Illuminati symbolism too. I noticed that.
Wipes away a tear as she rides along with Katy Perry and 4 other fellow astronauts to the launch pad. One by one, they ring a bell. Gail, who has a fear of flying, looks terrified.
This is overcoming a wall of fear, a barrier. I think it's going to be cathartic in so many ways for her.
The all-woman crew joined hands in prayer. Then it's time to climb into the capsule.
Go for launch?
Yeah, baby, go for launch, my favorite words.
At 9:30 a.m., the rocket soared into space.
Passing through 80,000 feet, 1,300 miles per hour.
Oprah sobbed.
Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
She and Katy Perry's fiancé, Orlando Bloom, comforted each other. The women experienced 4 minutes of weightlessness. Katy held up a daisy for the camera.
They are floating, they are weightless, they are experiencing zero-G for the very first time in their lives.
They were overwhelmed by what they saw.
Oh, the moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon. Look.
Then it was time to return to Earth.
Touchdown. Welcome back to Earth.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos had a little oops moment, face planting while inspecting the capsule. His
Dumbass done fell. Now, what's funny, if you watch the initial video, see, the news try to do some slick shit. They're trying to focus on Jeff Bezos falling. But what the real tea is that somebody opened the door early from the inside. Then they had to tell them to hurry up and close it. Then he went and got a wrench and tried to act like he was prying them open. The mainstream media be playing in our faces.
Fiancé Lauren Sanchez was the first one out. Gail raised her hands to the heavens.
I just have to have a moment with the ground.
She got on her hands and knees
Let me just appreciate the ground for just a second.
and kissed the earth. Katy raised her single daisy toward the sky. She took the flower to space to honor her 4-year-old daughter Daisy, who called out to her mom during the landing.
Just seeing.
Katy! The pop star also kissed the ground.
This experience is second to being a mom.
At a press conference, Gail was...
Girl, shut the hell up. Why this broad act like she done left her child for 11 years instead of 11 minutes? These people are weird. So that was the launch. Let's go ahead and watch the next. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. All these people, they're just playing in my face. This is the interview I want to play because she's offended that we don't believe her stunt.
You're here.
Oh, you're going to say you can't?
I can't believe
I'm
all
alive.
of it.
Allison, look, feel me. All my body parts.
I caught up with.
You should be alive. You didn't go anywhere, ma'am. You didn't go anywhere. You should be ticking. The hell? Why she act like she went to war? Like she was fighting the war in Ukraine. I'm alive. You should be alive. Absolutely. We expect you to be alive from that fake fiasco that you pulled off.
With newly minted astronaut Gail King. Liftoff. Fresh from her out-of-this-world mission to the edge of space.
It was surreal for me, but I feel so proud that I did it because I would have never thought that I could pull this off, to be honest with you.
Well, it's pretty incredible, especially considering I understand that you're a bit of a nervous flyer.
I'm a very nervous flyer.
I am too. And you could see the fear on your face as you rang that bell.
I do regret that I didn't smile a teeny tiny bit. I wasn't aware that's how my face looked.
What did it feel like when that rocket is launching into space?
Fortunately, they told us that, listen, when it first lifts off, you're going to see the flames. We're going to see the flames? Yes, you're going to see the flames, and the capsule is going to turn bright orange. Don't be alarmed. I go, that's normal to see flames and the capsule turns bright orange? Yes. And then at some point in the flight, it gets very, very, very quiet and still. And that's when you just sort of look around and you see the planet and the dark sky and the neon blue line, and you feel, wow, we came from there. Wow.
Oh, the moon! You guys, I have to tell you, look at the moon. Flynn, I gotcha.
I always held on to something because I didn't want to involuntarily turn upside down. I was worried about the blood rushing to my head.
When the all-women crew, including pop star Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos' fiancée Lauren Sanchez, returned to Earth, they were greeted with great fanfare, but they also faced some criticism on social media, including from supermodel Emily Ratajkowski.
Think about how many resources went into putting these women into space. For what? I'm disgusted, literally. I'm disgusted.
I was one of those people. Why are they spending all that money? Then you educate yourself and you see what is happening and you see the benefits. Do you use GPS? Do you use satellite? That's all because of space research, and in some cases space travel. But the bigger thing is what it's doing to young girls and young women. Men have come up to me. They said the fact that you did that makes me think maybe I could do that too.
Taking up space!
Woo! Girl, shut up. Let me come back on the screen. The fact that she's really acting like she went into space, and the fact that they're calling her an astronaut. Like, can we stop with the titles? Like, now she's considered an astronaut. I thought you had to go to school for many years before you could get that title. Like I said, I don't even let people call me a journalist. But now all of a sudden they're like bestowing her with the title of astronaut. They are so full of crap. You know, my whole thing is this. Where were their space helmets? Where were their like protective suits if they really went out there? And then the thing is, like I said, Buzz Aldrin, you know, bless his old heart. They've been like literally, I feel like the whole space thing was like some type of psyop that happened. And y'all remember when the Challenger exploded? Like, we're still traumatized by that as children. I think I was like maybe kindergarten, first grade when that happened. I remember it was an episode on Punky Brewster. Like, and then I found out years later that some of the people, this is like the conspiracy, some of the people that were on the Challenger have been found. It's like this whole conspiracy if you go down that Challenger rabbit hole. But Buzz Aldrin has been like ringing the alarm for a few years now and basically saying that the moon landing was fake. You know, once people get old, they just don't care. They don't have time to lie anymore. I don't know if y'all have seen these. I just felt like that whole situation was nothing but a big distraction. I'm not buying anything Gail King, Katy Perry, I'm not buying anything that they're selling. And the fact that it fell on the ground and then it popped, somebody on the inside opened it, then they rushed to like close it, to me is insane. Let me see if I still have that video. I wonder if I have it up here. I think I do. Give me just a second.
Something's not adding up.
Okay, yeah.
So Blue...
Hold up. Here it is. Let me play this really quick. This is going to show the part when they land. All right.
Something's not adding up. So Blue Origin launches Katy Perry into space. And when they land, someone opens the capsule door from the inside. Hold up. That door is supposed to be sealed shut, like vacuum of space shut. Not, oh, look, it's a push to exit button shut. And yet, you can clearly see someone crack it open. Like they're leaving a porta potty at Coachella. So, was that even space? Or was it a soundstage with a fog machine and a green screen? And don't forget, Katy Perry was conveniently on this flight, a celebrity, on a mission, with a door that opens like it's backstage at the VMAs. Weird, right? Almost like they needed someone famous to sell the illusion, because nothing screams real space mission like pop stars and poorly timed door malfunctions. And I'm not saying it's fake, but I'm also not saying it. What do you think? Real space flight or...
So again, remember when the mainstream media showed the clip, they focused on Jeff Bezos tripping. Everybody else was like, yeah, we're not distracted by that. We're going to focus on the fact that this door popped open like a door at Coachella. So, the whole thing is just insane. But like I said, Buzz Aldrin has been spilling the tea for years, and he's saying that when he went into space, it wasn't real. So I'm more inclined to believe Buzz Aldrin about the moon landing. So let me play that really quick here. Okay, here it is.
Buzz Aldrin admits the moon landing was fake.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest? It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something...
Fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does, I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. See, you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, no, what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened.
Talking about, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop. And a few other things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed. Man, how about that?
That was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah. This was, so were you self-conscious about all the entire...
So, like I said, I'm not buying it. That's my opinion. If y'all want to believe that they went to the moon, went to the outskirts of the moon, you can believe that. I'm not buying anything that they're selling. I think they're all full of shit. It was nothing but a distraction. But, bless her heart. She's still alive. She survived space. So I'm not buying that. And to me, like I said, space is not up in the sky anyway, so I don't... They were just in some type of fancy, contraption that was built. The whole thing is just a mess. It's a mess, but bless her heart. So now let's go ahead. I want to talk about all this mess that is going on once again with Shannon Sharpe. It is getting even messier, and everybody's now weighing in on it. So basically, if you guys don't know, there is more audio that has come out. And this is just embarrassing at this point because Shannon Sharpe is, 54, 55 or something like that. And so this girl is 19 years old. She's an OnlyFans worker, but it sounds like they're both into some type of kinky, race baiting, role play. And so the new audio that's coming out, once again, he's still talking about choking her. So it's real disturbing. We're going to go ahead and listen to all this mess here with Shannon Sharpe. Give me just a second. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Gabby.
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did what you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what? Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going. I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. It is what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be up to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Okay, let me come on the screen. I think the most disturbing thing about that, you know, again, whatever people do in their bedroom is their business, but the way he's talking to her, the whole, you know, big black man chokes a little white woman. And then, mind you, this girl is 19, so she's half his age. Again, it is legal, okay? As long as you're 18 plus, it's legal. But at what point in time do you think, as a grown man who has something to lose, where's the discipline? Like, why is this even the type of person that you're even willing to engage with? So to me, it says more about Shannon than her. Because again, she's 19. She's not, you know, her brain is not fully developed. She's just hyped up to be, you know what I'm saying, to pull somebody like a Shannon Sharpe. Why is he even entertaining the conversation with a woman who is younger than his daughter? And I wonder if this was a man talking to his daughter like that, would he be okay with it? You know, it's very funny like how a lot of these guys will get up here on social media and talk and, you know, act like they have all these wits about themselves. But then but then behind the scenes, they're just as messy as the same people that they talk about. So I just found the whole thing just really disgusting. It just shows like where his mentality's at. And my thing is, this is a man from the deep South. Y'all hear that country bumpkin ass accent? Why are you even into like this type of, you know, again, whatever freaky shit you get into is what you get into. But I don't know. It's just weird. The whole sexual role playing thing is weird, especially being from the South. So, I mean, are you supposed to be her big black buck? Like what the hell is going on here? Yeah, she might be 22 now, but he's been messing with her since she was 19. Y'all always love to push the age up. He met her when she was 19. They didn't just meet yesterday. And even if he met her at 22, he's still in his late 50s. And again, when you have things to lose, why are you even finding yourself in this situation? That's because he has no sexual discipline. So a lot of people are talking about this. Cameron went in. Umar Johnson has something to say. And Stephen A. Smith is also speaking on this as well. So we're going to go ahead and listen to what Cameron has to say about the situation. Now, again, to me, does it sound like a setup and a shakedown? Yeah, because even for me, the conversation doesn't really flow naturally. He seems agitated about something. It seems like there was a conversation going on before she started recording. But again, he's the one who has something to lose. So even if it's a shakedown and she's lying, he shouldn't even be in this situation in the first place, being that he's Shannon Sharpe. And you're signed to ESPN, you know, who's owned by Disney. He has a lot to lose. This trailer trash OnlyFans model has nothing to lose. If anything, this is more clout for her. So let's go ahead and listen to what Cameron has to say about the situation here. Straight up mess.
First thing I took from this when I heard it was, look, he was living in California and moved to Nevada. She moved from California to Nevada too. So if somebody's being abusive to you in one state, why would you move to the next state with the same nigga who's abusing you? I don't know. Me personally, I found the red flag with that personally. And then the next thing is...
Now, he's making a good point. But if they're already having issues, why is Shannon's red flags not being raised? Like, damn, why are you moving from state to state? Now I feel like you're stalking me. That should have been a red flag to Shannon, because what is she moving for? Keep your ass over there.
This sex tape that's supposedly coming out, Shannon said, put the whole 30 minutes out, or 10 minutes, whatever it is. I guess it's some part in there for 30 seconds, because brought that up. Shannon brought that up. He said, I believe he's going to release 30 seconds of it. Whatever that 30 seconds is must be nasty and violent and fucked up. If you don't want to put the whole 10 minutes and you reducing it to that 30, it must have been WWE in that joint. Elbow off the top of the bed, off the throw against the dresser. You white little bitch, come here, suck big black dick. Fuck you talking about? You want nigga dick? I get that part. I get it. Because I tell white bitches you want that nigga dick. But it's consensual. They agree. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I've been doing this in a different realm from him. I never made it as a professional athlete. I've been out here shaking and juggling these bitches since 20 years old. I know what you up to. I know when a bitch try to bait me in a text message to say some dumb shit. I ain't writing it back. You right, and I'm not writing nothing back. You can't get me to write a damn thing back when I see what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Then you gotta know, see, that's the fucked up thing. It seemed like he trusted her from the conversation I heard. You gotta read the signs like, I don't wanna get choked. That ain't something you usually say. Hold on, you don't usually talk to me like this. Why are you talking to me like this now? Yo, I'm gonna hit you back. Boom. And then you know, when shit ain't right, you be like, when you answer the phone.
Cameron ain't lying. I totally agree, because remember in the text messages, this bitch was hollering about, oh, put that baby gravy in me. Oh, I want baby gravy all over me. Get me pregnant with a big black baby. How she go from that to, I don't want to be choked? Bitch, you wanted to slurp up baby gravy not too long ago. Now you scared to get choked? Bitch, what? Spill the tea. Why is your attitude changing all of a sudden? So Cameron ain't lying. I love how he be going off in them 3-piece suits, okay?
Oh, they be like, hello? They setting up. Oh, I can hear you now. They done set the call up. You gotta read all these signs, bro. And you gotta think about this, right? This is why, and a lot of people call this nigga Uncle Tom, and he don't like black people, and this, that, and the third, et cetera, et cetera. This is why Stephen A. don't get into no shit like this. And I'm gonna say none of us is above it, knock on wood, but he knows he works for Disney. When you work for Disney, a sex tape can't be coming out like this. You can't be admitting that, 30 seconds of this shit was kind of rough. I'm letting y'all know. Shit get a little wild. But didn't he like 30 seconds get what? Yo, just make it. But the first thing I took from this when I heard.
Yo, Cameron is funny. He is so funny. I love Killer Cam. He gonna keep it real. You know they've been beefing. Him and Ocho Cinco and Shannon Sharpe, they be beefing with Mason Cam. They go back and forth. But no, he said some really good points. Like her energy was totally different. And old man Shay ain't, reading the room. Because there was even some more text messages that came out yesterday. I forgot what it said. Something about, something about eating white ass. I don't know. It said some freaky deaky shit. But it's just like her attitude was totally different. All of a sudden she acted like she's scared to get choked out. Well, bitch, any other time you want baby gravy on you. What you scared of a little choke out for? You know, that should have told him something was up. You know, but again, he's an old freak. He wants, you know, young puss to make him feel better about himself. I mean, just keeping it real. Because again, if the self-esteem was self-esteeming, he'd be settled down, maybe with somebody closer to his age. And I'm not saying he's to date another 56-year-old, but, you know, maybe somebody in their 40s, maybe somebody, you know, 8 to 10 years younger than him. But to be dating a 19-year-old, 22-year-old, whatever age she is, she's much significantly younger than him. And then it's not even like, let's say, okay, she's young, but she's a college student. She has herself together, you know, which is hard to do at 22 years old. But let's just say she's one of them. You know, maybe she's a young influencer and, you know, she's making good money on TikTok. Even that would make sense. You're going after an OnlyFans chick who probably got daddy issues, low self-esteem issues, the fact that she has to bust it wide open on camera for a check, and that's who you go after. But then in the same breath, it's always funny because they will criticize black women who do the same thing. You know, they're all types of hoes and sluts and, you know, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. But you're entertaining this young Becky. Very interesting. So now let's go ahead and listen to what Stephen A. Smith, what he had to say, child. Oh, good old Stephen. Knew he was going to pop up sooner or later. All right.
Got him and brought him to ESPN. But I'm not the boss. Those are other folks. There are layers to this, and there are certain layers even I am not on. I can tell you, I also spoke to co-chairman of Disney, the boss, Jimmy Pitaro, who made it very, very clear we are taking this matter very seriously, and we are looking into this very, very closely. And once we gather as many facts as we possibly can, we will go from there. And that is all he said. I am the executive producer of First Take on ESPN. I recruited Shannon. I went and got him and brought him to ESPN. But I'm not the boss.
Let me say this. Where's my tiny little gavel, child? Stephen A. Smith, you're messy. You're messy. You know what you're doing. So he has to remind everybody he recruited Shannon. He brought Shannon to ESPN. I've talked to the bosses and, you know, they're looking into this and decisions will be made. He didn't have to say anything. You could have just sat back and, you know, sip tea and let the blogs blog, you know what I'm saying? But it just goes to show you he's messy. Okay? Like I've been saying, there's this underlying tension. I've been seeing it for a while between Stephen A. Smith. Because again, remember, Stephen A. Smith was the mentor. And now you had the mentee, Club Shay Shay, blowing up. And it was kind of making Steve, you know, them ratings, you know, Cat Williams really helped solidify Club Shay Shay. Remember, a lot of them guys was throwing shade and salt. So I don't think that Stephen went there to the boss with genuine concern for Shannon. He went to be messy, okay? You're a messy bottom. Stop. Okay, he went to be messy. He's trying hard not to gloat. Okay? Let's keep that real. Because nobody asked you to go to the bosses and say anything or find out what's happening. Let the bosses do what they do. But I think this is a serious situation. And again, like I said, I'm not the type, I don't really care, because I know people have tried to shame me before. Oh, T, just because it's legal doesn't mean it's moral. I don't get into those moral conversations. Legally, the age of consent is 18, and I stand by that. You know what I'm saying? I've always said that. That is the law. Y'all can't get mad. If y'all want the laws changed, y'all go take it up with Trump and them. That is the law, right? So because a lot of things are immoral. It's immoral to, you know, cheat on your wife or husband, but y'all do it. It's immoral to, to be sleeping with people, going from person to person to person. It's not a good look, but y'all do it. So, everybody has their little morality clauses, right? I don't even care about the morality of it because, again, it is what it is. But my issue is this. Morality aside, legality aside, there is something wrong when you are 56 years old and you're not thinking of the big picture. Because, after a certain age, to me, somebody said respect to the law, y'all. Respect to the law, respect to the law, respect to the law, y'all. Messy. Morality and law aside, at some point in time, you yourself have to have your own gumption, your own standards, your own integrity. Because it shouldn't take a law. It shouldn't even take morality. What are you about? What's your integrity? What do you stand for? Just because it's available, just because the legs is wide open, don't mean that you need to hit it. Who remembers when he said something not too long ago? I think they were clowning him. They were saying that he looked like the lady. Well, it's a man who be acting like a lady, Miss Netta. They were saying that he looked like Miss Netta, and he made a comment about them young girls aren't complaining. And a lot of people, and this was before all this came out. This was like a week ago. Let me see if I can find it. Where he goes in about looking like Miss Netta. Let me see if I can find it. And he makes a comment about how these young girls like it. And it was really weird. It kind of, it made my ears perk up like, how young? Because the way he said it was, y'all know what I'm talking about. Put a tick up if y'all, this was just a week ago before all this stuff came out. This was a week ago. Put a tick up if y'all remember that. I'm trying to see if I can find the dang on audio. Shannon Sharpe, Miss Netta. He was on the Ocho Cinco show. Okay, here it is with Funny Marco. This was 8 days ago. And listen to how he responds. We're going to watch it. I found it.
What's going on with this?
Hold on. We're going to watch it. This was before all this stuff came out. See, people tell on themselves. People tell on themselves. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with dating younger. I've said that. But I think there's a such thing as dating too young. And so, genetically, they said that the frontal cortex is developed by age 25. So I think you shouldn't be dating anybody if you're so much older, under the age of 25. You know what I'm saying? Preferably 25 and older, 27, 30, 35, that's fine. So I'm not saying he needs to, be smashing 56-year-old cheeks. I'm not saying that. But, scientifically proven, people under the age of 25 they don't make good decisions. They're irrational. They're still young. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as adults, we have to have that self-awareness. Even though it's legal, that person may be hung like a horse. But if they're a certain age, no. You have to have some type of integrity. You know what I'm saying? You have to have something about yourself. So let me go ahead and play that. Let me play the clip. Because when he said that, it made my motherfucking, ears perk up like, Here we go, child. He was really mad about that Miss Netta joke.
What's going on with this? Anybody ever told you look like Miss Netta?
They do sometimes.
Oh.
I don't get up. It used to bother me, but guess what? It don't stop them checks from coming in, and it don't stop them young ones from opening up.
Objection! I couldn't think of what he said. He said it don't stop them checks from coming in, and it don't stop them young ones from opening up. Bitch, how young? Oh my gosh. Woo! Not them young ones from opening up. Let me go ahead and hit that with the rewind. Child. Woo!
Do sometimes. I don't get up. It used to bother me, but guess what? It don't stop them checks from coming in, and it don't stop them young ones from opening up.
They sure don't. So let me.
As a matter of fact, you look more like Miss Netta to me with that skin, that acne. Now that you brought it up, you should have left that alone. You look.
No, Shannon. What you should have done is left them young ones alone, okay? See, now you're trying to come for Funny Marco. You should have left that young OnlyFans barely legal puss alone, okay? That's what you should have did. legally and morality aside, that's what you should have done. So it's very interesting. This was 8 days ago. And I remember that, like, people's ears perked up like, damn, what you mean? It don't stop them young ones from opening up. But okay. And now, not even 8 days later, Spicy Becky, because she has a very Hispanic name, so I'm assuming she's white and Hispanic, honey. She came out, she said he likes to choke her, and it's $25,000 per cheek. She loves baby gravy. She wants a big black baby inside of her. I said, oh, you can't make this shit up. Can't make it up. So again, he was telling on himself. At some point in time, you have to use common sense, especially when you have things to lose. So I'm not one of those ones who feel like, oh, if you 50, you got to date another 50-year-old. If you 30, you got to date a 30-year-old. No, you can find love and real connection. But I think, like, when somebody is 56 and the person is 19, what connection do you have outside of sex? I have a 19-year-old. I can't see him bringing home a 56-year-old woman. She's older than me. What do you and my 19-year-old son got to talk about? Nothing. He's in a whole different stage of his life. He's graduating trade school. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you're 56. What do you bring to the table? Like, I just don't understand. Like, outside of sex, he had nothing in common with this young girl. And when you have things to lose, you have to move appropriately. So now this barely legal puss done got him in a world of trouble. Because is this a shakedown? Possibly. But he put himself in a position to be shook down. And that's the problem. He could have did all this freaky deaky shit with some, do you mean that there's not a lot of freaky ass 30-year-olds? And that's still younger than him. He could have did this with some freaky deaky 30-year-old. But see, the problem is, once people's frontal cortexes are developed and people know who they are by the time, they're 27, 28 years old, you kind of know who you are by then. You can't be manipulated as easily. And that's what bothers some men and women. That's why they go super duper young, because they feel like that person can still be molded. You shouldn't be in a relationship to mold another human being. You should be in a relationship because you genuinely love that person and you genuinely want to build with that person. That's what a relationship should be about. Now, if it's just some, sexual stuff, we're just, pouring baby gravy on each other and busting nuts, then okay. Then you know what it is. But you can do that with somebody more your age, because it does not look good. He's a big black man, buff, big old arms, big old shoulders, nice body, and it's a little white girl. It does not look good. The optics are weird, because now it looks like you have molded that child, because she's still young. It looks, well, I'm not going to say child, young woman. I don't want to say child because then it comes off like it's, underage. That young woman, because now it can look like, well, he manipulated me into talking like that. He coached me. He told me that that's what he wanted. Because the average woman, 28 and up, 30 and up, again, unless you're a dominatrix and that's what you get paid to do, the average, I'm not entertaining that type of conversation. Like, that's not a turn on to me. Like, oh, pour the baby, let me put this baby gravy in you. First of all, you need to speak like you understand English and like you're articulate. I like to be stimulated mentally. That conversation to me was pure trash. I'm like, whose daughter is he talking to? Because you're not talking to a grown woman who has common sense about herself. Because who uses the word baby gravy? That's like, are y'all baking bread? Pass the baby gravy. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find, hold on. Let's see if we can find those, some of the conversation. Y'all know I keep receipts. Let me pull up this conversation. Here, yeah. Yep, I have it right here on my desktop. Let's look at this, because this is not the conversation of somebody who's smart. And this is where it looks like he manipulated this young girl. Because the way she's talking, it's almost like he trained her to talk like that, child. I don't know. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Child. this a bit. Okay, he said, here, text from Gabriela Zunenga. I want to put you, wait, I want to put my tongue in your asshole and then marry you. That's my daddy. Fuck. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better curve it, because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put that big black baby in me. This is insane. Then up here she says, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to do to me. Oh my gosh. Like, you can't make this stuff up. He should be embarrassed. He really should. Bitch, objection, just for the fact I have to read that again. He should be embarrassed, okay? He should be straight up embarrassed by that. That is disgusting. That's something that you can, get from a barely legal chick. Because she's like, oh my gosh, it's Shannon Sharpe. I have to do and say and please him anyway. A girl who's 30 unless she's like a sex worker and that's what she does for her profession, which this girl does, they're not even going to entertain that conversation. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for something deeper. They're looking for a deeper connection. So he really messed up with that. If he just wanted to just, bust it open one night, then that's when you pay for an escort. Have sex, move on. But the fact that he's trying to have a friendship, relationship, whatever he was trying to have with this Gabriella chick, it may really come back to bite him in the ass. I mean, she's basically treating a biracial baby as some type of fetish. Big black baby in me. Just weird. Let me go here and read some of these super chats, child. Oh my gosh, this is too much. Let's see here. Tracy's Outlook says, hey T, I wanted to show you a little love because my birthday is Saturday, April 26th. Taurus family, Discord family. Oh, and I do love my Leo sister. Thank you so much, and happy early birthday to you. Thank you so much for the super chat, sis. Appreciate you. Let's see here. GG24K sent $4.99 says, hey T, I'm finally able to send a super chat after YouTube be hating for a while. I almost swore this top today. Love you. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you for the love. Let's see here. Restless. Oh, no, I read that earlier. They were the one crying about Drake, child. Bless your heart. Let's see here. Shy B sent a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you for the love. Let's see here. Your favorite Iwa girl sent $10. Says, love you, T. Your niece from Ghana. Thanks for everything and teaching me a lot. Please take care of yourself. I definitely will. And thank you so much for the love and support. I appreciate you as well. Let's see here. Melanin Queen, what's up, sis? She says, I cackled when Gail thought that they were Boo-Boo the Fool and got the nerve to get upset because we didn't buy that she went into space without a suit and coming back with her hair snatched. This was a slap in the face to all. It really was. Gail and them was doing the most, and I'm not here for it. So thank you. Let's see here. Unsubscribed Queen says, speaking of Oprah, did you see she got subpoenaed? No. What did she get subpoenaed for? Let me go ahead and Google real quick. I didn't hear about that, child. Oh. Oprah Winfrey subpoenaed by Russell Simmons' rape accuser. Oh. I'm going to have to look into that more. I didn't know she got subpoenaed, honey. That's interesting. Thank you for the super chat. 2025, boy. Year of exposure. Let's see here. Jeffrey sent $4.99 says, Chai, anyways, where's the real news since this distraction ain't distracting us? What's up, Jeffrey? Thank you so much for the super chat, my ATL fam. I appreciate you. Yeah, they're distracting us from a lot. I'm going to clock some of that tea closer to the end of the stream. So just stay tuned. Let's see here. I don't know how you say this. Chono. I do not know how to pronounce your name. The last part is greatness. I don't know what the first part is, but greatness sent $10. Says you look beautiful, T. You look beautiful too in your picture. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's see here. Tiniest little Kiwi sent 10, says T, my tin hat is tingling. Space is not real, it's underwater. Also, T, did you see the theories on Pope Francis and how he might have been dead before the end of the week, and the next Pope will cause the end? Yes, I have been going down the Pope Francis rabbit hole. We can talk about it when we have our Zoom meeting. So we will definitely hit on that rabbit hole because it's a lot of weird stuff with his death. So, but thank you, sis. Let's see here. J Universe says, do a little research on the space industry, T. It's really on the come up and does help improve technology that we use in society. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Logan sent $9.99, says, hey, Auntie, it's your never met before nephew. Was wondering, did you see the Sinners movie? Would love to hear your commentary about it. I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. Thank you for the super chat. I have not watched it yet, but y'all are going to force my hand. So hopefully today's Wednesday. Hopefully I'll be able to see it in the next few days and then give a review on it. So thank you for the super chat, love. Let's see here. Spicy Papaya says needs the money because health insurance ain't covering this level of foolery. Thank you for the super chat. Amagio sent $2.79, said Shannon leaked IG live still haunts me. Yeah, that is very interesting that he did have that whole my Michelle. That's it, Michelle. It's really weird that he's had all this sex stuff around him as of late. So yeah, I ain't forgot about that either. So thank you. Let's see here. Miss Magic sent $4.99, says money only masks predators. Ooh, we. Clifton sent $2, says I love these long lives, T. Thank you. You're so welcome. Let's see here. Ronaful says I think they go for 18, 19-year-olds because that's the sweet spot. How young they can go without getting arrested. They go younger if they could. A lot do. That is true. That is true. And then Moneybag Mo's in the building. Moneybag Mo sent $499.99. Thank you so much, Moneybag Mo, for always showing love to my platform, always coming through. You are so appreciated. Just thank you so much for all the love that you've always shown me over the past few years here. So she is like the resident OG tea sipper for real. So thank you so much, Mo. Let's see here. Toy Toy says, when he made comments that he already knew about this case because they were in mediation trying to settle for $10 million. Yeah, that says a lot. It really does. Megpie sent $10, says, notice Shay Shay left his male stylist and he's been going out of his way to be overtly open as sexual as possible, like he's trying to come off as a stallion and not a zesty old grandpa. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Because they were saying that his stylist was his, boyfriend or something for a while. That was the rumor. So who knows, child? All these folks are freaky. Let's see here. Minnie J says, hey T, it's my birthday today. We love you over here. My son turns 2 Friday. He's playing and dancing and when he hears your theme song. Thank you so much and happy birthday to you. Thank you for tapping in. Hope you enjoy your birthday. Nighttime Ninja sent $19.99, says I screamed when I saw you were live. Love you. Hit the like button, people. Thank you so much. Yes, we have over 7,000 people in here. Please hit the like button. We got 1,800 likes. Please hit that like button. So now I wanted to also play Umar Johnson, child. He's speaking on the Shannon Sharpe situation. So let's go ahead and listen to Brother Umar and what he has to say about Shannon Sharpe. All right, good old Umar.
With Uncle Shannon, because I don't like when black men get taken down. I got to stand by him. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper, but that's my brother. Uncle Shannon Sharpe is my brother. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe until the facts prove otherwise. If you cannot promise me that you will never seek the company of another snow bunny. I cannot stand with you. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharpe on this one. But Uncle Shay Shay, no more bunnies after this. Can somebody confirm if he's being accused by snow bunnies or Afro-Queens?
You know damn well ain't no black woman accusing him of shit. Don't even ask that question with your 3-time repeating ass. You know damn well it's a snow bunny or a spicy Latina. Don't play in our face. Keep black women out this shit.
I'm standing with Uncle Shannon because I don't like when black men get taken down. I got to stand by him. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. He's just going to go ahead and repeat himself again. Let me come back on the screen. Yeah. Keep us out of this. We're not going to do that. Okay. He dates Latinas and snow bunnies. Keep the same energy. Don't play in our face. And is she a black woman? Or you know damn well it ain't no black woman. You tried it, Umar. Shout out to all my Latinas in the house. I got a lot of Latina tea sippers. I love them to death. You know what I'm saying? But y'all know I'm going to keep it real around here. You know, Shannon, you know, he said it. He likes, you know, his spicy Latinas, and that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with interracial dating. Do you? But again, you have to be smart. You got to be smart. I don't care who you date. You know, I don't care if you're dating interracially, if you're dating somebody younger or older than you, you have to be smart. You know what I mean? You got to move accordingly. And especially when you have things to lose. People who have things to lose, as soon as you're seeing red flags, as soon as you're seeing things and it's not gelling with your spirit, you got to cut it off. When you have things to lose, you got to move the fuck around. Everybody's not meant to, you know what I'm saying, to be entertained. Everybody's not meant to be in your life. Once you're feeling weird vibes from people, move around. It's that simple. And that's what Uncle Shay Shay should have done. He should have never talked to her in the first place. I just think she's very young and immature. And maybe he put her in some uncomfortable situations. And now, you know, she's thinking about stuff. Hindsight is 20/20. And she went and got Tony Busby. So it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, 4:45. I'm going to stay on until 5 because then I got to go. I got to get to Minneapolis. But let me read a few more of these super chats here. Ray says, Auntie, something happened with my Discord. I got kicked out. Can you please let me back in? I'm a longtime Discord member. Objection. I'm just like, girl, go ahead and send an email. Send an email. I will get you over to Marquis and Rejoice, and we'll get you back in the Discord. And remember, we changed to WAP. So we're not doing upgrade chat anymore. So you need to, you know, make sure that you change to the WAP payment system. But send an email. So thank you for the super chat, sis. We'll get you back in there. Let's see here. Sequoia. I hope I said your name right. It's spelled really pretty. I like it. Sequoia. She said, 499, she says, I think it's a humiliation ritual Shannon got himself into for that $100 million contract. I don't really know if it's really a humiliation ritual. I mean, he just sounds like an old ass freak. He likes to smash barely legal puss. You know, I don't think it's really a humiliation ritual. You know, I think he put himself in a silly situation that he should have known better. But we're going to see how it plays out. Sierra says, why did this man always repeat himself? I cannot stop laughing. Because words have power. I feel like Umar Johnson repeats himself 3 times because he's spellcasting. There's no other reason for him to talk in third party and constantly repeat himself. So I feel like he's spellcasting when he does that. But that's just my opinion. Let's see here. Sac Passe. Hey, my Haitian Zoe. Send $5. Says, not that long. Shannon was saying he was dating someone who he found out got an OnlyFans and will help her make money. And now this came out. Ooh, I didn't know about that. So now I wonder if this goes deeper. Because if you're dating an OnlyFans model, how are you going to help her make money? Were you passing her around to the homies? Oh, that's interesting. Because how do you help an OnlyFans model make more money? They're there to sell sex. Aren't they the ones always posting their damn coochies and assholes on Twitter? Every other post, there's somebody's OnlyFans asshole in my face. They're just there to sell sex. So, I hope it don't come out that he was pimping that girl out. You know, I'm just going off of what you wrote because I don't watch their show on a continual basis. But I hope it don't come out that he was helping her make money by, you know, possibly pimping her out or something. Oh, good luck, child. Let's see here. I Adore Franny says, I guess Cat Williams was talking to him when he was sitting on that couch. All these big dick deviants will be exposed. Hashtag sip yak. I guess he was one of them big dick deviants. It's a mess. It's a mess. Thank you for the super chat, love. Let's see here. Amanda sent 1999. The Amanda Nora says, have you spoke on Candace Owens and Joe Rogan backtracking on their president? Oh, I've been peeping. Oh, Candace wants to come back to the black community so bad. But black folks ain't fooling with her. She's burnt that bridge. She can stay right where she's at, doing her thing on her show and continue to, you know, cater to her, you know, to her audience. Joe Rogan, he's an idiot. And literally all of like the white, more liberal podcasters have now surpassed him. He's dropping in his ratings and he's regretting it. He's regretting it a lot. So yeah, I've been peeping the conversations around that. Before I go, hold on. Clint Afro Sound Smithson 499 says, hey T, I've been following you since my military days almost 10 years ago. Keep doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much, and thank you for your service. Shout out to all my military people. I have a lot of military people who follow me and support me, and thank you guys for just keeping us safe and doing what you guys got to do, because I know y'all go through a lot, and y'all are going to be going through even more with the new administration. So just hang in there. But yeah, I want to talk about this before I go, because there's been some interesting stuff, child. Let me switch subjects. So the other day, I was posting on Discord, and I was I've been talking about this for years anyways. So peep this. Let's talk about this real quick. The China situation. So I've been telling y'all for years on Discord that everything going on with the pharmacies ever since, you know, C-19, it makes me nervous, especially, you know, people who have chronic illnesses, who need medication. A lot of people don't realize that our medication is not made here in America. At least like 90% of our medication is made overseas in China. From regular Tylenol, ibuprofen to, you know, medications that people need to live life, right? So when this trade war was started, that was one of the things that made me very nervous, because I'm like, you're sitting here playing with these tariffs and starting these trade wars. What about the people who need their medicine? So it was announced yesterday that basically Hong Kong was shutting down shipping to the U.S. They were shutting down the ports. And they were saying that a lot of hospitals would be affected. Hospitals would have to start shutting down because all of the hospital supplies, the medical supplies, come from China. Okay? So this is scary. This is getting real. On top of the medical stuff, it was everything. Amazon, Temu, they were shutting down shop. So this is what happened not even 48 to 24 hours ago. So let me just play out some of these clips, and then we'll talk about what happened today. Funny enough. Okay, so let's play this real quick here.
So I work in healthcare, and Hong Kong just announced yesterday that they were completely stopping all postal service to the United States. Who did that? Hong Kong. And we get 50% of all of our medical supplies and 91% of our medications from China. So hospitals are going to close. Yeah. What immediate action will you take to stop this? Hospitals are going to be immediately crippled as soon as next week. So I work in healthcare.
So this was a healthcare nurse sounding the alarm. And I've had nurses reaching out to me, a lot of people that are in pharmacy reaching out to me, letting me know, like, this is getting really serious. You need to start trying to get 90 days supply of your medication, which I'm fighting to do currently, right? So it's real out here. You know, again, I'm here for all the celebrity gossip and tea. You know, we're going to spill it, but I'm always going to also edify the people who want, you know, to be edified, okay? So let me hit on this before I run up out of here. So then let me also show y'all this, since people love to act like I'm fear-mongering and lying when I'm not. Damn, where's that clip? Here we go. All right.
How much of our drug supply is controlled by China?
We're so dependent on China that if they shut the door on sending medicines to us, our hospitals would shut down within a couple of months.
In the case of some drugs, like antibiotics, China has a total stranglehold.
We can't make penicillin anymore. The last penicillin plant in the United States closed in 2004.
How much of our drug supply?
But yet, these morons will come on here and accuse me of fear-mongering and saying, oh, manufacturing's coming back. The last manufacturing plant that made penicillin was shut down in 2004. It is not going to be easy to just open up a factory, you know what I'm saying, within a few months. And if they do bring back manufacturing, like I've said before, it's going to be a lot of it technology-based, AI-based. So once China was like, you know what, we're not playing these games. We're tired of the disrespect. We're shutting down shipping, which is going to affect the medication, medical supplies, hospitals, things like that. So this has been the talk over like the past 2 days for the people who are paying attention. All of a sudden, Mr. Art of the Deal comes out and he's backtracking once again. But we're the weirdos. So let's hear this.
President Trump says tariffs on China won't stay where they are now for long.
145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high. It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. It used to be zero. We were just destroyed. China was taking us for a ride, and just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And there's brand new reporting in the Wall Street Journal this morning, Bill, that the White House is considering drastically slashing tariffs on goods coming from China, potentially by as much as half, though the reporting indicates that a final decision from President Trump hasn't been made yet. But you just heard that soundbite from President Trump. It sounds like he was sort of signaling that that could happen, and now there's reporting to back it up. We've reached out to the White House to try to confirm it ourselves as well, but again...
So, once again, where's the art of the deal that y'all were hooping and hollering in my chat about last week? How do you start a trade war with a country that literally holds everything that our country needs? China makes a lot of our food, medications, technology, phones, laptops. See, they thought it was good enough to say, okay, well, fine, we're going to allow the iPhones to come in because we live in a digital world. We're so Americanized and, you know, we're so digitalized. We'll allow the iPhones to come in. Then they realize a lot of y'all are old. Ain't some of y'all on heart medication, diabetes medication? Where do y'all think this medicine's going to come from? There's no plants making the medication. And half these people in Congress are old as dirt. So now that it's affecting them, oh, now we need to pull back a little bit. Where are all these people that were screaming to have faith last week? Because if he really believed in what he was saying, he would not be pulling back. He would not be slicing anything. He'd be standing for, he would be standing 10 toes down in his decision. Because you know who's standing 10 toes down in their decision right now? Canada and Mexico. And for the most part, China. This is why I had to rush to go get a car last week. Well, a new truck. Because these tariffs. The last batch of automobiles that are available right now are pre-tariff. The new batches, if they even come, and even if they even get allowed to be shipped in, they're going to be twice as high. Boeing, they better hope they don't have to file bankruptcy soon. Because now they're finding out that fat meat is greasy. Because China said, we don't want y'all's planes. Let me see if I can find the clip. Yeah, the CEO came out yesterday. Very, very upset. Let me show y'all this article here. Hold on. Boeing CEO says China has stopped taking its aircraft amid the trade war. So they are looking at billions in losses at this point. Trump said Tuesday he was open to taking a less confrontational approach to the trade talks after calling for the current 145% tariff on Chinese imports. So at that point, China was like, yeah, we don't want your planes. Keep y'all's planes. We don't want anything from y'all. We can go elsewhere. So it is getting real. It's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward if China is willing to think of the citizens who don't have anything to do with this nonsense. But if they really wanted to be evil, they really could just be like, we're not doing anything with y'all. We're not making anything for y'all. Y'all figure it out as far as y'all's medication and everything else. They really could just wash their hands, and they would be, unfortunately, in their right to do so, because this is something that we started with them. So it's going to be very interesting to see like how all of this plays out. But it's getting real because, again, a lot of shipments have stopped. A lot of things are slowing down. And also think about the trickle-down effect. I have friends who also work in the medical supply industry, because that's like a whole nother hustle for people where as long as you have a vehicle, you can drive medical supplies from hospitals, clinics, nursing homes, stuff like that. So if these supplies are not coming in, what ends up happening is people who drive medical supplies, there's no supplies for them to drive. So then they end up getting laid off. So it just ends up just being so much of a trickle-down effect. Ryan in the chat says, thank you so much for the info. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Let me read these last few super chats and I have to go. Let's see here. Let's see. Lady Pink says the only hospital in Chester, PA closed, Cozier. I heard about that. And they're saying now it's going to be people who live in that community are going to have to drive further away to get help. So if it's like an emergency, people could die because now the next nearest hospital is 30 minutes away. So I did hear about that. I saw a lot of the nurses online crying and, very much upset. And if this continues where there's not supplies, it's going to be a lot more hospitals and clinics closing, unfortunately. But thank you for the super chat, love. Let's see here. Corey Smith sent $2. Thank you so much, Corey. Tiffany sent $4.99. Thank you. Tiffany B says, hey, T, sending love from Egan. That Kendrick Lamar and SZA was everything. Minnesota showed up and out. A time was had. Keep doing your thing, sis. Thank you so much. Yeah. It was literally, I believe it was sold out. I mean, it was jam-packed in there. And what I love, like I said, the energy was so cool, was such a vibe. Everybody was just rapping verbatim, just having fun. Wasn't no drama, wasn't no fights breaking out. It was definitely top tier. It was. So thank you. I'm glad you had a good time as well. Let's see here. Nicole Dennis sent $10. Says, hey, T, thank you for keeping me up to date on everything going down. Any chance you'd make a gardening video or a video on how to prep for situations like this? I don't know. People have been asking me to, I post my gardening stuff. I just posted in Discord. I just haven't made anything public. I post a lot of stuff in Discord. I meet with my gardening class. I think we're going to start planting next week, but I'm meeting with the owner, the person who's heading the class. I meet with them Friday. So I'm super excited. Yeah, so maybe I can post some stuff. I just haven't posted anything on YouTube. I don't know. I just always have mixed feelings sometimes about posting stuff. I'm really trying to see the engagement because, again, I don't, things take time. So it's like I don't want to spend time posting things and it's not being watched, or it's just a bunch of negativity and nonsense, or a bunch of back and forth. But so far, I think the more serious videos are getting decent engagement, so I'm thankful for that. I had a few people going off on me on the FOFA farmer video, which I didn't understand why they were mad at me. You wouldn't have did this if Kamala wasn't, I held them accountable too when they were doing all the bullshit with the vaccines, and when, the nurses were heroes during COVID, and then that same administration was getting rid of nurses, military people. I think I held them accountable, but y'all only want to see what y'all want to see. And right now, Kamala's not in the White House. So FAFO, I'm going to keep on calling that out if it's some nonsense. And a lot of them farmers are finding out. So you don't get to complain once you're affected. So that's the only thing, I sometimes have to deal with like trolling, but I don't even care at this point. I just approve their trolling comments and just keep it moving. Oh, that's my alarm. That's my alarm, child. Said, T, stop running your mouth. So I got to go to my little class because, like I said, I'm trying to be self-sufficient. I'm learning how to bake this bread from scratch. We're making, I think we're doing pizzas and French rolls or something like that today. So I'm excited, honey. But maybe I will think about, posting a few gardening videos as I learn, because I'm not a farmer, I'm learning too. My whole kitchen has literally turned into a garden. I got lights. I'm scared to see what my light bill is going to be because them grow lights be on for 12 hours. Them heat pads be on, so we'll see. But, as I learn stuff, I have no problem sharing. But I'm also learning, so I'm watching other YouTubers, other farming videos and stuff. But, I'm proud of myself. I've been taking it very seriously these past 2 months. I just started, I planted, I think, like another 10 cups of just different vegetables. So I started another 10 last night. So, yeah, I'll definitely keep y'all posted. But I'm going to go ahead and head out here. Let's see. Minding My Business sent $1.99 says, breaking news with integrity. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you as well. Houston Rose Gardner sent $4.99 says, I'm a gardener/forest and I would love a gardening group. We have one. If you're in the Discord, we have one. We have a whole gardening section in the Discord. But thank you guys so much. I have to go ahead and get up out of here. This has been a wonderful stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So I will talk to you guys later. I love you guys. Bye, everyone.